All right,
Same.
so ladies and gents, here we are. We've got another play all three. This is the opening series for Hera, who was third, fourth position after the first season, had won his group in the first season, is also running out to the middle to get some sheep right now. And then KingstoNe, who's a player who dominated the Gold League, played very well, and has been promoted. And the theme has been with all the promoted players so far, except for one of them, they've all been dangerous. They've all been getting games. Hera with an interesting decision going humans here. And of course, we have a scout fight right in the middle. Could not be more central.
Yep. KingstoNe found 2 sheep. Hera found 2 sheep near KingstoNe's base. So they're basically equaling that out, but Hera's going to find 2 more here.
Yep.
And all extra food sources you find with humans are beautiful. It's fantastic. Because you got to keep that second TC running somehow.
Yeah, Hindustanis make sense for me as far as the Civ choice is concerned. I saw it from Jordan and really liked it. I mean, I think we've established at this point that this is a Civ that can be good all the time.
He just missed those sheep from Hera, too. Unfortunate. Still looking in the middle.
Hera's got a lot of sheep. And I think Hera's Civ choice should be our next discussion. Like, if you pick humans, you're definitely trying a second town center on this map, right?
Oh, 100%. Like,
yeah,
unless you...
Like, what else?
Unless
Maybe
you're going to play
with a cheap
scouts.
stable?
Yeah, scouts in the wall up, get your eco upgrades, and then go up to Castle Age. I mean, you still have cheap stables, so it's not the worst thing in the world, right?
That's true, yep. And I mean, and Hera's also really good at playing standard. I could definitely see him easing into just getting a small lead with that and then dropping the town center later. A thing to mention about this map is that the gold, specifically the main gold, always borders the ice, and you cannot build on the ice. So that's always an area
now,
which is kind of questionable.
After that Scandinavia game, I'm kind of thinking, can I squeeze a dock in on there?
True.
Because that ice looked awful familiar. It looked awful similar to what we see here.
Hera takes his boar. So 2 on wood indicates to me that it's going to be that TC build. Typically, it's 3 on wood. I guess you could still go 2 on wood for scout builds these days.
I thought it was. Oh, you mean for scout builds? Okay, I was gonna say I thought it was always 2 on wood for the TC build, but
yeah. That's what I mean. I mean, you still could probably do it. It's not going to be like the craziest thing ever. But yeah, Hera's got so many sheep. KingstoNe has been super unlucky. He hasn't even found his sheep at home. Wait, no, he scouted them. He just hasn't taken them.
Yeah, KingstoNe also he's pushing it in now. He's taking a risk leaving those there, but I guess he's assuming Hera's pushing them in. Maybe he doesn't fully realize that he's found those. He did find 1 sheep from Hera, and he did find 2 neutral sheep. So
that's good.
It's not the worst thing in the world, right? I think Hera at the end of the day is ahead by like 1 sheep, maybe.
All right, let's see if Hera gets loom. Some players will even skip loom. To me, it feels like a natural loom timing. He's need to get 150 food really fast. And yeah, he's going to be good. Still could be scouts from Hera, but it's going to be 19 population. And, you know, just talking about Hera in comparison to some of the other, like, top 4, top 5 that we've seen already, I think he's always been a little bit more consistent because he's also just incredibly active. Like, he's playing games all the time. So I don't think that there's much of a concern for Hera that he's going to come in here and, like, underperform, where you could have maybe looked at Leary in his series in another group, starting slow. I think Hera's probably one of those guys that's always going to bring the same level.
I think like good kind of benchmark for Hera is on how well he's going to do is whether he's having fun currently playing the game. And it seems like since he came back, like the couple times I've seen him in Germany and talked to him, he's having a lot of fun playing the game. So that means he's more interested in practicing for tournaments, right? He's more interested in doing well. When you're not having fun, trying to stream every day, trying to go through the rank grind, and then practicing for tournaments, it's so difficult. It's just a slog.
Yeah, no, I get that. Well, Hera's definitely going for the TC build, which astounds me. It's not a build that you would associate with Hera, especially when there were so many other civilizations he could have tried to play standard on this map, but he's no barracks yet, and he's pulling his villagers over, and he's going to drop that TC soon. And
like, I would have
KingstoNe, he's going to probably go scouts.
I like the TC over here, kind of securing the gold and the stone. Maybe he'll put it up against the stone. Okay, kind of up against both. I wouldn't have minded TC like right on the forward gold either, because it's all ice there. You can't even set up a siege workshop if it's Kingston.
Yeah.
To pressure that area.
Yeah, that's a really big deal, right? Because normally when you see your opponents going for the second TC, you want to go Knight Siege. And in this case, Hindustanis can't go Knights, and then they can't really build the siege forward. But now they could build the siege on the normal land near the Wolf. And, man, you could maybe even get a Mangonel behind that wood line. I'm not sure how many tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's a tile off of that wood line, so yeah, maybe not.
It's so difficult in Ghost Lake to capitalize on forward pressure because you can't put that siege workshop anywhere. He's coming forward with villagers now, and Kingston's going to be going for a tower forward, but what does he have to back this up? Just a few spearmen and a couple scouts.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate the tower idea. At the moment, he could actually fight with the villagers to keep this open. And if Hera has to pull villagers to fight, I don't think Kingston would complain too much.
I think the key here for Kingston, towering farms is key. But there's no farms yet from Hera because he's still capitalizing on the extra sheep that he created earlier.
Buddy, where are you... He almost ran right into the town center, which had me worried.
He almost did.
Yeah, I like that tower a lot.
Cuts off the wood line there. Also gives you a base of operations for more towers.
Yeah, and he probably should just stick with the amount of scouts that he has. He could produce more, but I think forcing Hera into having to drop a barracks or dropping more towers, either one's fine as long as he gains that. And Hera, well, we have a pause now. I'm gonna assume this is a series with Hera, so maybe it's just history. But I'm gonna assume maybe he's paused for a reason. But he's taking stone, which is the most important thing. So he can compete with the tower war.
Wall up this tower. Just a few palisades from King. He's listening to me. Perfect. I always like when they
do it immediately after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Kingston's also gonna find the weak vills going out to the deer.
Yeah.
And those are not the weak scouts there, or the weak scout from before.
Get it?
Come on,
I don't think he realized.
No.
He's also got some weak scouts too, so that's part of the concern for him. Hera, no horse collar, by the way, for his farms. No army.
And look at where he's putting the farms, right where that second tower from Kingston's going.
That's such a good tower.
Beautiful.
The thing is, you don't actually have to kill. A lot of people think you have to kill Cumin Vills. In this type of situation, you don't have to if you can gain a position for Castle Age.
I like this. He's making it really messy.
Yep.
He's making it super messy for Hera. He's essentially cut off that main gold. Can't cut off the secondary gold. Harassing the villagers on the berries means less food income for Hera. He's getting a lot of good information on where Hera's putting his farms and whatnot. And he's just kind of building up for another tower. The tower in that little nook there would be pretty brutal for Hera as well on the wood line.
Kingston's been patient. He's got to continue to be patient. I'm very interested to see what Hera's food income is going to look like. Because he's going to have the farms, but the no horse collar with the amount of farms you do off humans could be so awkward. But good job from Hera. It looks like he's kind of trapped these scouts. Kingston tempted to escape. Hera having to garrison every so often here.
Do you tower the wood line or do you tower the farms? Or do you kind of try and make one in between?
Yeah, I think you can do in between. Hera's probably going to make a counter tower at this point. So
Hera lost a scout.
Yeah, lost a scout. Hera's not going to lose a Vil. But, I mean, I guess we should say also good job from Hera to only lose one so far. As the market might be his best friend pretty soon. And, yeah, there's the wood line on the tower. Tower on the wood line, sorry. Crazy.
Kingston, it must be said, like, Kingston is still not very close to clicking up the Castle Age.
True.
And Hera is already 9 villagers ahead of him.
Yep.
So this is a massive lead. It's only going to keep growing. And eventually, Hera's going to plop down maybe a barracks of his own to get some spearmen out to push out further with these farms as Kingston's looking for value against the scouts. But Hera finding some good engagements here with the villagers. Kingston's trying to bait those back into the tower, but the tower's busy attacking the TC.
Yeah, I wonder if Hera will ever make that barracks. Like, what is the big concern for him right now if people haven't realized that? And Kingston's still making scouts. So he definitely needs to get those Vil picks now, right?
Look at him just slowly pulling these villagers further and further back. Hera's going to wall him in if he's not careful, though.
Oh, man.
Oh, he's got so many scouts.
Yeah, he's just been running by. Hera never walled towards his TC. It's been awkward because of the towers. Kingston, is he going to wait for forging here? I would love to see him wait for forging.
It would be beautiful. Either forging or the armor. Both of them would be amazing.
Look how annoying Kingston's being. It's possible he's being too patient right now. He's giving Hera too much respect. But he's also macroing at home. But like there are vills that he should have killed.
Oh, there
here.
it is. Forward blacksmith. God, you'd love to have Bulgarians right now, wouldn't you? For a fast forging, that would be amazing. This opportunity is only going to last so long. He needs to wait 30 more seconds. Maybe take the fight even before forging comes in. Counting on that.
Where's the barracks?
Coming in the middle of it.
Why is Hera not adding a barracks? I do not understand it. It's such a risky play from him.
Go now, Kingston. You see the tower. You got to go now, dude. Forging's almost in, Tristan.
On the
Forging
hill.
Is almost in.
On the hill, Forging's in.
2 more scouts coming in. Forging is in now.
Ripperoni.
A lot more attack power for these scouts, but Hera's doing a good job saving the vills. Kingston's still being a little bit cautious here. And Hera just has so many vills, and Hera's going to kill all the scouts at the cost of 2 villagers.
Kingston should have killed more, though. Like, Kingston absolutely should have killed more. Like, he could have killed 6 more, but he just hasn't been able to get it right here, Dave. And Hera's resources, if he can just get the wood to buy his way to Castle Age, he's still going to be in this. I'm really surprised that Kingston didn't continue to engage on that tower foundation.
Bro, it just needs a market. I mean, like...
You could get the wood, right? Gold. Like, remember there was an instance where a villager could have been killed on the deer on the left. There's an instance where that forward farmer was pretty weak. I think Kingston either doesn't have the feature enabled where he can just pan over with his mouse to see the HP. So he has it manual where he has to click it. Or he just hasn't been paying attention to that. And, I mean, Hera losing 5 villagers considering the investment here should be completely fine for him.
He already lost one on that other farm. He's going to lose this guy, too. Be very careful, dude. Be very careful. That's not the place. Don't go on the left side of that farm. That is not the area. Simba, don't go to where the shadow hits. We don't go there, Simba.
Ah! He's dead. Well, there's the market for Hera. He honestly didn't even need it at this point. He could have just idled his way up. And quite a few weak villagers. Like, look at his gold villagers on the left. Look at his farmers. Look at his woodline. Like, Hera has... How much HP is he missing?
Look at his gold.
He's missing 400
finally.
HP.
Yep. Finally, Hera clicks up the Castle Age before Kingston. He's going to probably lose another villager at the back here. Still does not even have a barracks, by the way. And, well, if he had a barracks, plop down stables and probably produce, like, out of 3 of them.
What is... Hera's random villager just running by the tower now? That's going back home. And this has been an interesting game so far. But, yeah, the key for Hera, obviously, is he's got to get some army out here in Castle Age. And if he gets some army out, it'll be fine. But, like, again, Hera losing another villager here to the Scout and Spearman. 8 villagers killed. Suddenly, it's not looking too bad for Kingston. I'm curious if Kingston's going to go all in here. He's dropping a second stable on the front. I really like that
Another villager's
decision.
going to die to the Spearman? Nope.
I've liked the resolve of the situation for Kingston a little bit more now. Obviously, were opportunities earlier. I think specifically on that wood line with all the additional scouts where he could have snowballed that. It was, we should also say, a really good job from Hera to do what he could with the vills.
Oh yeah, really, really.
So that was good. Bloodlines and armor now for Kingston. And it's got to be a siege workshop too, right? I'm a little shocked by the archery range decision.
Barracks for Hera, finally. Finally has a barracks.
Kingston's going to try and drop another tower on the right side. So Hera's just soaked up, or invited all this pressure. He's going to make it to Castle Age. He's going to drop a castle here, Dave. And he's going to make the unit that you said Hera said sucks. Or at least you said that Hera agreed with
Hera said, as Hera does with most things, you know, when you talk to him, he's like, I used to think it was good, and now I'm not convinced.
Maybe he used to think they were not good. Whatever. Anyways, tower's going up on the right. Yeah, that made no sense. That made no sense.
Like so many things you do. Here comes the siege workshop as well for Kingston.
I like the siege position at the very least, right? Just like keeping an eye on that gold. What he won't be a fan of is that 3 of his towers are going to get shot down by this castle. I could be wrong. It could be just 2 of them. But also, with the tower on the right, you know, if he walls that in, which it looks like he's going to, it's just annoying positions at Hera's base. But Hera has a 20 villager lead. That's
Jack's coming out.
massive lead right there for
coming
Hera.
out. Yeah, I know. 20 vil lead. He's basically throwing here by making kip checks, but we'll see if the 20 vil lead can carry him through. It's in a really good position here, economically. Map position.
Listen, I know you don't agree with me that kip checks can be good, so let me just put it to you this way. If the unit was any better behind an economy like this, humans would be unstoppable.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there we go. We
But
agree
that's
on
not
that.
the
at least.
argument.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll see as Hera doesn't
Oh,
micro
look,
his kip checks.
shot by a camel.
He doesn't have bloodlines, and he. Okay, you know what? I'm not out here. I have no bones to pick with kip checks personally. And Kingston, with some needed aggression, has killed 10 villagers so far. Is going to kill 11. Now Hera needs to get that mass up with this unit. That I think is fine. Dave doesn't think is fine. Mangonel is pressuring the tower. Hera comes out with the kip checks.
I like another tower from Kingston, cutting him off yet another wood line.
Yeah.
Just making things messy, right?
I also
Camels attacking the tower, and they get some extra damage, right, because of Hindustanis?
Yeah.
Is that still a thing? That's still a
That's
thing.
still a thing. It's all stable units now, so it
Yeah.
applies to the camels too. And the thing that Kingston hasn't been able to do is take good trades against the kip checks, which will get to a mass with a firing speed. It could be complicated for the siege and the camels, but he also needs villager kills. So I think all things considered, he'll be very happy with this. Game 1, this many villager kills against Hera. Hera playing super sloppy. This is good damage.
Oh, Kipchak's coming in. Kind of nuked by the Mangonel shot there. And this
my God. Dave,
It's a really great unit, Dave. Trust me, he just doesn't have bloodlines.
how
Trust me, bro.
much did you pay Hera to play this bad with my kip checks? I mean, my goodness. I will say there's no better argument than now that this unit needs bloodlines at the very least. You've got cheap stables if you're Hera, and Hera, oh my God, he's just losing them left and right. 20 villagers lost this game. The last time he was ever at Kingston's base was when he was trying to look for a sheep. Hera has 2 hours of total idle time in his eco. And while the boom is paid off with Vil count, he's just getting destroyed right now. This is amazing for Kingston. And yet another opportunity for a promoted player to take some games off of the big names. This is awesome to see.
Camel's still really weak, and he's making a monastery, I think, just to heal up the camels.
Yeah, those are some weak
not
camels right there.
Like, these are weak camels.
Weaker than
He might
Kip
even
Check
kill them.
camels right
He
now.
might kill his own army with his mangonel shots if he's not careful. There's some splash damage coming in against those. Kipchak's coming in now. Hera's still microing them. They do feel fun to play with. I will give it
They
that
have no
much.
frame delay, yeah. So that's what makes it strong, is you can fire fast, but geez, like for the love of God, Harry, you've got to get bloodlines on them. It adds a third of HP to them. And Kingston now is also trying to switch into his boom a little bit. So this game is not over, just Kuman things. And Hera micros back into a shot here, runs over to his castle, but you know Kingston's lost a lot of his camel numbers now, and if he's dropping the town centers, it's going to become increasingly difficult to attack and heal and also boom up at home, which he also needs to do. He's like 20-some villagers behind still.
Do you think Kingston should shift the mangonel over to the right side now? Or do you hard commit here? Because you don't want to give up this position on the farms, but I feel like you can kind of keep the Kipchaks busy and then maybe send a little bit over to that side. I don't know.
I think your whole goal is to just stand exactly where you're standing for the next 5 to 10 minutes. And I think that's fine. Because you've got 2 TCs and you've got the gold. Obviously, you don't want Hera to do much on the right, but by you being here, it's tougher for Hera to make decisions about everything else. So, but it's a valid option, obviously, for the long term.
Bloodline's coming in.
Yeah, crazy that he delayed that so long off such an economy, but it also is because he wasn't controlling the map with army, which Hera's so used to. And Kingston repairing another Mangonel. He saved so many of these. Like 2 of them were weak, and he's even saving the village.
Dodges with the villager too. That's sick, bro. This mangonel might die to its own attack rounds. No, he's attack running the back of that barracks. He's gonna take this out, and killing that barracks is actually really nice. It's gonna give him a place to set up with those mangonels. It's been very annoying.
Dude, this is Kingston's unit control is insane. This is unbelievable pressure. Hera finally
Well,
getting the
Lens is in
number of
now.
pip checks he wanted, and he's still losing because KingstoNe's been repairing and getting some good shots. Hera still falls back. There's only 2 mangonels now. And it's 70 villagers versus 93. Don't tell me Hera's still got that big of an eco lead after all those losses. But he's still, there's no control, Dave. I'm wondering, what do you think? You're about to get stone for a castle if you're KingstoNe. Do you run forward with this, or is that too risky?
Well, Hera's going to go for a castle right here. Oh, baby. Oh, that was a risky castle, but I guess the mangonels were on the other side. KingstoNe keeps one mangonel over there attacking that TC. He's going to deny the castle with the other mangonel. Hera. Uh-oh. Trying to take out the mangonel from KingstoNe, and he does get it with the castle. I didn't think that was within range. I don't think KingstoNe thought so either.
There are villagers on the way, Dave, and they don't seem to be heading to this location. They seem to be going to the other side. And it probably makes sense because odds are Hera's going to eventually whittle down your siege and whittle down your camels and take this position back. I mean, not if his micro is this good, but there's a good chance that Hera could always snowball and get that back. And as Hera loses more kip checks, my goodness, dude. Again, no better game for us to have had that conversation.
KingstoNe was busy selling wood and buying stone for a castle. He's going for the castle on the right side. He's got to make sure that he keeps Hera distracted over here. Very important he keeps Hera distracted.
Oh,
that castle will go up.
Oh, no. If Hera sees that.
He's got 10 villagers.
If Hera sees that.
Hera can buy his own counter castle.
Hera needs to. Hera absolutely needs to. He notices this, so he's thinking he can deny it. And Dave, the palisade walls from Hera mean the kip checks can be... Oh, no. KingstoNe.
No.
Don't make walls. Don't make walls. It's a ranged unit. It's a ranged unit, bro. And he cancels it. It's 70%. Loses all the stone. Needs to fall back home now. It just always felt like it was going to take so much to be able to complete a castle there. Dang. Well, Hera's got 3 castles to make kip checks out of. The other thing about Kipcheck that I think needs to be talked about more is how cheap it is. It's a really cheap unit. So, you know, for having a unit that you could mass, like I remember a game where I accidentally made 100 of them without the unique tech, and my economy didn't skip a beat. So, I think that's a big thing for Hera, but man, like, he probably is going to want to make something else with 45 farmers. He's obviously still in a position to maybe deny this gold, or sorry, deny this castle on his gold. Dang.
Okay. KingstoNe is adding to his farming eco now. He's finally getting his eco set up behind this. He's going for a 4 TC. It does have handcart, which Hera's only getting now. But still, it's lots of villagers behind, and Hera is just going to do the Hera thing. Get his farm eco set up, and then go into Hussar once he's in Imperial Age. And oof.
I mean, honestly, I like all-in castle here with humans. You can go capture Ammon Castle for the middle castle.
True.
Your opponent's base doesn't have a defensive castle. So just like stream Lightcav into KingstoNe's main eco and then prep for Rams. But as you said, I mean, he's also pretty close to clicking up the Imp, so he could do that too. Just crazy amounts of eco.
That castle on the right side cost KingstoNe so much, not only because the castle was denied, but also he took his eye off the mangonels at the front to buy the stone. He went to his market to buy the stone, and he lost the mangonels, he lost a couple camels, and then he lost that position against Hera. I think he would have been better off just focusing on this middle area. As he goes up to Imperial Age now and adds a 5th TC.
Yeah, so he's trying to catch up in Vills while imping, but he has no way to stop Kipcheck.
Well, it's
Siege Workshop! Siege push! There you go. That's actually really clutch defense there from KingstoNe, but Hera could obviously still break in
quite quickly.
Yeah, and Hera, he's just going to go all in castle. Probably needs to stop making Vills at 150, but he can make the Rams we talked about, and the middle castle is just a sitting duck right now. And just so crazy to me how Hera lost 22 villagers before killing a single one, and he always had a 20 or 30 eco lead.
Bro, he lost 15 bills before making a barracks.
Yeah, like KingstoNe had insane unit control. I would say with the exception of the scouts. I think the scouts in Feudal Age absolutely could have killed more. And if he would have killed more with the scouts, obviously, that would have been at a more crucial time. Killing villagers when Hera has 100 doesn't feel as strong. But yeah, light cav in the back. I mean, this is a sign. If you can't deal with one light cav in the back of your base, and that's annoying, imagine when Hera sends a full force to your base. And here's the capped ram push now. If Hera didn't have 153 villagers, he would be able to create a little bit more army, but it's not like it even matters. KingstoNe's just getting torn to bits right now.
Yep. Hera can make whatever he wants, and his eco is just super. It's way superior to what KingstoNe has currently.
Yep.
The villager count looks impressive for KingstoNe, but he's still trying to get it all set up, trying to go for camels. Hindustani camels, if he does get them upgraded, can be pretty dangerous, be a threat. But it feels like he's kind of missed that window.
Unless Hera
is already spamming units.
Yeah, I mean, one way to look at it as well is you've taken a lot of Hera's main golds, and you're now an imp way faster. I mean, he's now trying to take out the Rams here. So he clearly wants to hold this position, which I think tells me that he thinks the game's over if he doesn't hold it. Can he hold it?
Feel like he can take out some of the Rams, but he doesn't have the final armor for his camels yet. He doesn't have heavy camel on the way. Kipjack should fold to that castle fire. Oh my god.
A great target fire from KingstoNe, who's going to have heavy camo on the way and a Treb. Hera's going to have Pike and Light Cav with no more Kipcheck. And Hera had stopped hitting his opponent's base.
There's a lot of camels, bro.
Yeah.
Just got to get rid of that last capped ram. There are a lot of camels here. Camels are at home, killing the Light Cav. KingstoNe is at 132 vills with 7 more in the queue. And heavy camel is a minute away.
Oh, man, it's just so many Rams from Hera. He's just tossing everything with this crazy economy towards the castle. There's not many camels on the front anymore, but they might join up soon because at the base, Hera had to run home. I'm a little surprised Hera hasn't tried to get the final armor upgrade in the from the pikeman, but he's just so focused on production, and he does truly have so much.
This is just overwhelming.
Yeah.
Absolutely overwhelming.
Really sick
Hindustani
play.
camels do attack faster, so they can take decent fights against pikemen. But so far, no Imperial upgrades in. Heavy camel just now making it. And it's be a different engagement now, but the castle's going to die.
I think you can fall back here, though. At this point, what's happened has happened. Now you could try and fall back. Issues, obviously, is that Hera's got 1, 2, 3, 4 castles. And potential to get more map control, as we're just going to see him go up to 60, 70 farms.
Now. He's going into barracks.
They don't get Halb anymore, right?
No, they don't.
They used to get Halb, so he's going to think
is
Pikeman.
It for, do they get, do they get champion? It's for pikemen.
It's tough to know what he should make. He kind of needs that type of unit. Oftentimes, you're going to match your opponent's Halbs with your own, but you don't have Halbs anymore.
He's going armored elephants, too, on the left side. He's setting up siege workshops over there. Looks like Halbs, I guess, just to distract the enemy pikemen.
Well, if it's Pike v Pike, it's fine, right? The problem is Hera can get Halberdier. And again, the main problem is whose base is protected. Hera's base is, I guess it's wide open in some areas because he's expanded so much. But Hera's base is fully protected. Defense first, offense later for him, as is often the case. But, I mean, he's taking it to another level here with the humans. It's just 1 or 2 moments here away from being the GG, I think, because KingstoNe just can't keep up with this. It's going to be too many light cav, and this is before any imp upgrades.
Constant harassment from Hera. KingstoNe had a decent amount of farms. Hera got in there with the first light cav raid, kind of nuked the farm eco, and KingstoNe hasn't been able to get back on his farms again. And now he's adding in Cav Archer because he sees the amount of pikes that Hera has. This might be an Imperial GG moment.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he's at 140 pop. He's losing a bulk of his camels. He probably just now realizes, oh yeah, I don't get Halb. I forgot that they removed that from that civ. And now he sees Imp. Hera's pop hasn't dropped at all, Dave. He's been at 200 pop the whole time. This is just crazy, crazy stuff.
It's just classic situation where every time you look back at Hera's eco, he has more on food.
Yep, more
65
farms, more
on
farms.
food now, getting everything set up, and he's doing something that Hera does so well, I think better than any other player. He's setting up castles in his farming economy. Instead of forward or on hills near his base, he's setting them in the middle, so even if KingstoNe goes for some great raids, his army's going to get cleared out.
Yep.
Hera doesn't have to allocate any army to the back of his base to deal with it. His castles can deal with it.
Yeah, and then with Steppe Husbandry, he will produce, what is it, 80% faster out of your it applies to your cav archers.
It used to be like 100, didn't it? It used to be ridiculous.
Okay, it's not. I don't think they changed it, so it's like 80 or 100. But yeah, so his stables produce even faster now. And this is game number 1 in what will be a pretty competitive series. KingstoNe obviously probably feels like he's dead, but he sees 160 pop, so he's been giving it a shot. But yeah, there's the GG called. What a just like a bold, I guess, strategy from Hera. Sure, I'll make no army. I'll boom with 2 TCs. And what are you going to do about it? Like, holy crap. Like, again, the main thing, and I just said it like 10 minutes ago, I think KingstoNe actually played Castlage near perfect. However, in Feudal, when he had scouts, he needed to kill more villagers than he did, which would have had more of an effect on Hera's economy, because at that time, he only had like a 15 villager lead.
Hera did such a good job, though, keeping his villagers together and then engaging with them.
Yeah, he did.
Felt really tough for KingstoNe. Although, that first fight when he got foraging, I think he pulled away like 4 scouts.
He should have just
fought
immediately.
It.
Yeah.
He should have just YOLO'd there, because like pulling those scouts away lets those villagers, those scouts were attacking, group around the other 3 that you have there, right?
Yeah.
If you just keep attacking with all of them, eventually villager numbers are going to go down. Hera's going to have to manually retarget villagers after he kills the scout. And you're going to get a lot more value, even if you lose your entire army.
I honestly think that if he would have just patrolled on attack stance and not clicked his units at all next to that tower foundation, he kills 3 or 4 or 5 more villagers there. It's just, I think what it was is Hera goes into fight with the Vills, and Hera's an amazing player. And oftentimes the better players just have such a confidence with everything they do.
Yeah,
so
especially against players that are supposed to be way weaker than them.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll just play with that confidence like crazy.
So KingstoNe was like, oh God, he's confident that he can take this fight against my scouts, so I'm not going to fight with my scouts. But I think with foraging, man, he would have demolished the woodline. I'm not saying he still would have won the game, though, because Hera's economy was really good. Yet again, Kipchak's dominated, as you could see. He didn't lose a single one here, Hera. Had a lot of wood and food and stone, and where it really started to shine, obviously the Kipchaks weren't that good, but was when he got the mass, and then there's the crazy eco spam from his barracks and stables.
It is, dude. It is Vietnamese on Arena.
It better be against
He's got
Britons.
the Portuguese. It's against Aztecs.
Ooh, well, I still don't think it's... Well...
Imp Skirm versus that Lattle Skirm. We're going to see it. We're going to see it.
Yeah, I mean... My instinct here was to say that it's not a great decision to pick Vietnamese. Hera says, are you just trying to counter Britain's 11? So Hera's thinking about this too.
Yeah.
And KingstoNe's now laughing. I thought it was a counter to Britain's. And I don't like it as much against the Aztecs. But I mean, maybe Vietnamese are still possible. Also, I don't even know if Vietnamese are a counter to Britain's if Britons play it right. With early imp timing before rats and archers are a possibility.
Yeah, like Vietnamese have decent, like cheaper eco upgrades, sure, but Britons have the cheaper TCs, and it feels like they get a better transition. Don't blame you. It was a nice try.
Okay. Well, you can
so
tell...
now Hera's kind of talking like he thinks there's no chance here.
Yeah. But you could tell mental games, dadgum. There's like a confidence from Hera that he's like, okay, nice try. And the whole vibe of this is a weird pick. And then there's also in the response from KingstoNe, not much confidence, you know?
Yep.
Which is never a great sign. Never something you really want to see here. But we did wonder about the Vietnamese, so let's think about how they can play out. So they don't have to spend wood on their eco upgrades, which is nice. Also, do you hate or love that lumber camp?
The one from KingstoNe?
Yes.
It's fine for first lumber camp, I guess.
Yeah.
Probably should have gone a little bit north of that against the other one, but I mean, he's gonna chop through that eventually.
Yeah.
Have to replace it. It's fine.
Hera's giving drafting tips to his opponent. It works better if you don't pick them first. You can wait on those counter picks usually. Yeah.
I mean, no one's gonna ban or pick Vietnamese.
Exactly.
So he should have just waited to the 5th.
He's absolutely spot on. Like, Hera would have never drafted Vietnamese. Picking Vietnamese first is a hugely inexperienced move from Kingston.
What if this is all a mind game, though, and Kingston did that knowing that Hera wouldn't pick Britons, and Hera would go Aztecs, and he has a strategy against Aztecs with Vietnamese, and now he's just playing into it with all this stuff. Like, yeah, he's trying to teach me a lesson. Sure, buddy. Yeah. I mean, that was a mistake I made, 100%.
That would be the caster's dream right there, is what it would be, because we have a narrative now. We don't just have a Civ matchup in a game. We've got a narrative to work off of. So, I mean,
Kingston's playing. He's playing Hera like a fiddle right now, and he's like, yes.
If I had to guess, I would say that Kingston's not really playing any mind games right now, and he's being honest.
No.
However, Vietnamese have really good range units. So like Imperial Skirmisher, Rattan Archer, all very hard for the Aztecs to stop if you can get 20, 30 elite Rattans. But the more I think about it, it's like just the timing. And Aztecs have Siege Onager, and Aztecs have Monks and Skirms and Eagles, and the Relic bonus. It's just so tricky.
If this game goes like 3 hours, he has paper money as well.
True, yeah. Dude, that's all I was thinking about. So I know you covered that 4-hour arena game from Dark Noob and McLuffy recently.
McLuffy, yeah.
Yeah, so I had the week prior had a low elo game, which went 4 hours. And
our videos came out on the same day, dude. On YouTube.
Did they?
Like,
that's
what?
funny.
Did he cover the same game? Yeah.
That's funny. Well, what was funny, the way the low elo game ended was one guy said, "You should go to bed," to the other guy. And the other guy said, "Yeah, it's late," and resigned. Like, the game could have gone on for another 6 hours. But anyways, all I think about in those long games now is the new paper money change. And I've yet to really find a good game and a good example of that being hugely helpful. So, yeah, maybe this game will go on for a long time. That'd be cool.
I will say with Aztecs, I think Hera played Aztecs twice in Titans League last time around, and I think he lost both times on Arena with them. I remember once where he was up against Castle Age hand cannons against Bohemians. I can't remember who played him.
I thought he won that game and he went full skirm. I thought he had a game against Yo where he literally just went like all skirm monk and Bohemians.
Oh, he might have won one and lost another. I think he definitely lost one though.
Yeah.
Definitely lost one.
Yeah, he also had
against
a fortified
Nikov?
clearing game too at one point.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, like, as much as I think back to the other games, I try to forget who the opponents were because I'm trying to remember the new groups. And if I start thinking like Hera versus someone and he's not in the group, it just screws with my stupid brain. So we'll get there. Probably by like the second week, we'll have everything memorized. But yeah, I mean, you could go for light cav with Vietnamese. I'm not sure if you're going to go for light cav if you have 11 Vills in queue, but he'll probably cancel those.
Or is he debating the score?
You mentioned that, I forget who did it. Somebody else did that recently.
It was Samaro did it in Fortress, apparently.
Yeah,
what I had some people in my chat who are playing against Samaro on the ladder saying that was what he was doing.
Okay, so I was going to ask who the source was on that.
There was a couple people in my chat.
Because there's like a 50 score switch, I think.
I know.
It's not a lot. But, I mean, it is certainly a cool thing to think about.
He is going up now. 26 population for Kingston. Hera going up 24 population.
Oh, sorry about the score.
And Hera's going to be able to pull off the FC. Kingston is going to be able to pull it off as well. And it looks like he's going for stable. So he's just going to contest relics in the center here.
Yeah. I don't hate it. I think it's good. Something I don't like is the 9 on wood, especially 9 on the lumber camps is a lot more than you need. A lot of players like Hera, well, Hera's on 1 lumber camp, but like 7 is more than doable. I see some players go 7 on the lumber camps, and if they want an 8, they take a straggler tree. So I think he's going to be a little light on the food and a little heavy on the wood, but he might balance that out in some way. It also could
especially
be
with Vietnamese where you don't need wood for the upgrades either.
Yeah. I just don't think the build is perfect. And if anyone out there's like, okay, T90, you're talking about the amount on wood like it's a big deal. It's Arena. That's like the #1 thing on Arena is your build.
You have nothing else to do.
Yeah, I mean, build is huge. And builds are more important now than ever. because we see some crazy stuff. Like, again, if you didn't watch Draken vs. Leary on Arena, go watch that crap, because that was crazy. So I think he's probably just going to sell wood.
I like Market Stable. Yeah, he can sell wood. I like Market Stable better than Market Stable Blacksmith. I don't see what what is the blacksmith really getting you?
Yeah, I think if you add the blacksmith, you should be intending on getting upgrades. And
well,
that
obviously,
is the situation.
Yeah.
Well, you say obvious, but a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, but if you think about the timing of the upgrades, you're getting the upgrades like 6 minutes after you place that blacksmith, because you're gonna have to produce the cavalry first, right?
Yeah.
And the market is probably gonna help you more in those 6 minutes. Intervening.
Do not finish these farms before
place
horsecolors
when you
complete.
get the
Do
upgrade.
not finish these farms before horsecolors complete. Do not finish. Oh my god.
He finished 2 of them.
He finished 2 of them before horsecolor.
Oh god.
Wait, was it 1?
It's fine.
Or was
it was 2?
2. Oh my god. Kingston, you're killing me, bro. That's all you've got to do.
First he's talking about one villager not on the wood.
Yeah, now it's
talking about
the
some
food difference.
Yeah.
Especially when it's part of your bonus, though. Like, part of your bonus is save resources on eco upgrades, which is supposed to lead to you having, like, a more resources banked in the long run. That's a little sloppy.
I'm watching this game, and my whole theory about him mind gaming Hera, it's kind of going out the window. I don't see any really unique strats here.
I mean...
I just see meta attempt from Kingston.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I mean, there's something with the minds going on, but I think Kingston is in his own head. Like, these are some basic things. And this is definitely going too far into it, but every time I see someone with, like, 15 vills queued in their TC and Dark Age, I've been there, and they're just like, not really having their best day. Like, you know, they might be a little nervous, tired, whatever. But if he can win the Relic War, like, if he gets 4-1 or better with the relics, there's always a shot here against Aztecs.
I think if you're Kingston, you never stop producing the scouts. You just keep going.
Yes,
keep
always.
massing.
Yep.
And get the Lycav upgrade for sure. There it is, right away. And keep some scouts producing after that. You have to get your eco upgrades first, get a monastery down. And the one thing about Aztecs is, like, they don't get access to Lycav. And Eagles are nowhere near as good as Lycav in terms of speed or the damage they're doing to monks or anything like that. So Kingston's going to find real value against this Eagle. That's really important if he manages to kill this. He's not able to get in front and block it, though. They're blocking each other. And Hera gives it up. He doesn't want to let those Lycav in.
Okay, so we questioned some things here from Kingston a bit, right? And I think rightly so. Why go double monastery against someone going Lycav? Aren't they always going to go Lycav against you here? Should you not, like, go barracks?
Exactly. This is what I remember Hera doing in those previous games I was talking about.
So he just waits till he has enough monks and enough HP and just moves out anyways, I guess?
Like, Spearman would be nice here.
Yeah, I was thinking
to
Spearman monks.
He's not even converting those. Like, Kingston, what does Kingston see here?
He sees
one monastery. That's it.
It's really interesting, actually. I'm not sure if he will ever be able to get a position to see the second. But when he sees 4 monks, obviously he'll know. He keeps checking. Meanwhile, monastery's already out, and Kingston's getting relics. You could maybe get the further relics first here for Kingston. But the golden come helps, so sometimes you're just going to go for it.
I've seen so many people throw the games trying to get the farther relics, and then not even getting their own.
Yep.
And you haven't even seen that much from Hera, so you don't know if he's gonna pop out with something. I think just like getting the first ones in gets a little bit gold trickling in for you. It's just nice. It's good and secure.
Okay. Hera's gonna get real close first, and Kingston saw it now, and he will know that's more than one monastery.
And this is why you should have just kept producing Lycav.
Yeah, you went for the
boom. I don't know if maybe delay the third TC and just keep Lycav coming out, because if Hera ever takes control of the middle of the map, you're in trouble with Vietnamese. Like, you're in big trouble. He's coming in now. I think he kept charging against that Lycav. The monks are going to go down here. 2 of them get converted. All of them get converted, bro.
Why not make more? It's 6 monks versus 4 Lycav, and it's Aztecs. They have more HP, man. Yikes. Well, I'm with you. I think you see 6 monks, you just make more Lycav. And now, I mean, it's good he got
He
the
should have
one
been
relic,
making.
but
I think he should have been making light cav that entire time, and he's gonna let this light cav into his base too.
Yeah.
His Hera can't get in because the relic was blocking. Lol.
yeah, Spearman's not going to cut it. This game is probably over from here. Hera can heal up the
Yeah.
light cav. If there's any Spearman, Hera will just convert it. So Spearman's definitely not a play, and Kingston just he's maybe after the game one that he played, which was very strong, and Hera beating him anyways, maybe he's a little defeated. He tried to go for a counter pick, which he admitted to Hera at the very start of the game was not going to work for him. So now he's like, well, this sucks, and he just drops a 4th town center.
Mm-hmm. What if you modified your build here as Kingston, knowing that Hera was super confident at the beginning, probably going to go in amongst his Aztecs? If you had played like a forward castle drop build, I don't think Hera has enough to punish you. I think you get that down.
I think he had Portuguese in his draft, and I was already thinking, like, how do you stop the castle? Because remember in the previous games, that was our big conversation. The castle would always get up. Because, yeah, Aztecs are going to go
like
monks against your
Aztecs-
organs, but still.
Yeah, Aztecs can do better against organ guns than a lot of other civs can.
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
if the castle's on your face, then, like, maybe Hera goes 3 monasteries, and you just boom. Like, I don't know. There was just... I think, all things aside here, the thing that Hera did best in this game was he didn't show he had a lot of monks until he had 6. Because for Kingston, he probably decided to go for the 3rd town center and stop making light cav because he thought it was just that one monastery from Hera. And then he got surprised, and then he made a really bad decision, which got punished horribly. And now we're going to see a push behind this, which is not going to make things any better. So,
And Kingston is now queuing up a few light cav.
yeah.
Dude, if he had 6 light cav there,
I think
I think he wipes all of that.
Yep.
I think like 2 light cav get converted, but then you have 4 left to deal with the monks.
I think it's just a complete misjudge of the situation, which is a surprise to me
Yeah.
because Kingston plays a lot of arena. You only engage against monks there if you think you're going to clear them all.
And Kingston plays against like the Emperor of Monks, Mondri. I've seen so many games.
Yeah,
Kingston
they play a
versus
lot of
Mondri.
arena.
Yeah, you think he would know, but maybe just kind of frazzled, right? Civ selection didn't work out. Strategy that he had in mind didn't work out.
For sure. And remember, everybody, the goal still for Kingston is to get 1 win from this series. He's not expected to get any more than that. So as he now has to prep for this, and looks like he's going to go for light cav, which could end up controlling the map. Hera's going to drop a barracks casually, but yeah, even if Kingston loses this game, even if Vietnamese hasn't made a lot of sense, he's still got that opportunity. On Kilimanjaro, it is Hera's home map, but I haven't seen Kilimanjaro played out too much, so there's always something to surprise someone on it. And in fact, if there's any map to surprise somebody and have it like a new Civ pick, that would be the one.
Still no loom, by the way, for Kingston, so that's a concern.
Yeah, probably not thinking about it either. But I think Hera wanted to force his opponent into more army and just switch into the counter. And Hera went in there far enough to see there was more light cav, and now he's already prepping pikemen. Hera is, I will say, very, very, very light on the army production, though. Like, for someone being on the way to Imp, he has 1 villager
Look at
building
the
barracks.
outpost from Kingston. What on earth, bro? What the hell? I need more vision.
Okay, goes in for the monks here. I mean, there's always a chance if Hera loses control. Hera's light cav, though, have been getting a lot of kills and assists here. He also got a conversion or 2. And yeah, in the end, more light cav were needed. Here comes Kingston for a castle. Hera still doesn't even have the pikeman upgrade. He's been very late to adding military in this
Oh,
series.
please don't add that castle right next to the ram.
Oh my god. The way this game has
Please
gone,
don't
I can
add that
see
right
it.
next to the ram.
But
I
no,
can see it too.
But he can't. And he's like, I can't build
8.
this now. I'm probably dead, but let's make a gate, because what else do I do? And Hera's going to have pikemen, and now he drops a barracks, and another barracks. And
Nice
deletes
gate
them.
mate. And now Hera's in Imperial Age, and Kingston. I mean, there must be part of Kingston that just says, like, make this end.
Yeah,
please.
exactly. I mean, he could more than justify resigning as well at the moment, right? From what he's seeing.
He goes for it further back, though, and he's adding in barracks now.
Yeah, okay. So he's going to go barracks. again, it just doesn't really seem like that's going to add to like any type of win condition for him. And again, I'm a bit worried for Kingston's mindset going into the final game because I've just seen enough signs that show that he's not as crisp as we've seen him at his peak. Like look at Sebastian earlier today. He was on it, dude. Like he came to play. He was firing on all cylinders. Kingston just a little bit off.
Draken
Was on it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did get
Archer
Loom.
ranges.
He's on his way to Imp. Hera going to be making Trebs, and Hera will get relic number 5 as well here with full map control. Hera has made one pike. Well, no. He probably had more, but like he's still not producing a lot of army, but he doesn't need it right now.
He does see the archer ranges being added in. So he saw the barracks, the stable. Chorus made one pikeman, got the tech in, and now he sees the archer ranges at the back. Doesn't matter because it's just going forward with the castle.
He'll just treb down
Kingston
everything
still,
that Kingston has and switch into Eagles.
2 minutes away is...
Yeah. Yeah, it does make you think, for Kingston. Obviously, we've got a live series here, so he's currently in his own mind as we watch this. But it does make you think, like, not calling the GG here, is that even another sign that you're struggling? Because I'm not sure what he's seeing that makes him think this is possible. Might just be the frustration and disappointment of the situation, because he's been, in this game, dominated. The previous game had his opportunities, but it ended with pain.
Let's go!
Skirms. Okay. I'm really excited for this stat. Oh, I was hoping the most units created for Hera would be light cav. I think that happens if you convert that.
I don't think it counts, though.
Yeah, I don't actually know.
It is most created. Yeah,
but would they ever have expected people to convert enough to show that?
Created, I think created is a different stat.
I believe it. I mean, at least with what creative means, it shouldn't show that. But anyways, GG. Well played, Hera. We
know what happened there. Like, yeah.
He correctly predicted the counter pick and went for Aztecs instead, and then Kingston took really bad fights, and it was painful.
I just want to see fish traps again, dude. I just want to see it again.
Back to Gold League for us then. We gotta cast Gold League if we want fish traps.
Get Samaro in here, dude. Get him in here.
I'm really pleased that Samaro made it into gold. Like he's one of those guys that just felt like he has what it takes to compete, but just doesn't play a lot of Ladder Arabia and doesn't play a lot of 1v1s in general. And he used his his creativity and his great strategic outlook on games to qualify for gold. I don't know if he'll be able to stay in gold. I think it's possible, but it's still really cool to watch his run.
I think like one of the advantages that like BF players or arena players, those closed community kind of players have over maybe people that come up playing Arabia is that when they match up against the big guns, like the Heras or Vipers or whatever, they've likely played these people before on their settings and beaten them. Whether as like a flank on BF or a 1v1 arena where they go for a unique build or something like that. And they already have the knowledge that they can beat them in a certain circumstance, right? So it's like not getting to their head as much as maybe someone who only plays Arabia doesn't really match up against Hera or Viper or Leary or whatnot, and then just thinks, well, if my execution isn't perfect, I'm going to lose this.
I think the other thing too, like something that matters so much, and I didn't realize it until I stepped into this scenario, is the weight of expectations can help or hurt you so much. And so like everyone memes on like the clown players or whatever, or they look at like, a top player like Hera, and they have all these expectations. And if you are going into a series and everyone thinks that you're going to lose, that's amazing for you. Which is why I'm a little surprised that we've seen as many nerfs from Kingston today. Obviously, like if he's like me, maybe he drank too much caffeine and then suddenly his anxiety's through the roof or something during a game. But like, I think we've seen that from like running when he played Vinchester. He was a guy who went in there knowing there were no expectations that he should perform well against Vinch. And he played like it. He played with no nerves whatsoever. So I think that's been cool, like in Gold League or the Silver bracket, or obviously now in Platinum when you've got an underdog story. And again, I didn't know that that's what it was until until I played with Miguel and Dogal. And I felt no nerves because I felt no weight of expectation. The second I did something good and got a lead, I melted. I was just, then there was expectation on me, and I couldn't perform to the same level.
Dude, there are so many storks in this map. It's crazy. Can we cut
there
down
are
on
a
the
lot of
stork
birds.
value? Holy. It's Oh, they're all on Kingston's. No, there's some in the east too. Oh my god.
So the thing about the birds is I think they all start in the middle on this map. I almost want to go back and look. Fun Civ matchup, by the way. Tatars, I love here because there's limited food on the map. And you've got the extra food on your sheep. Also, there's a massive hill in the middle. And so fighting on top of the hill, you do, what is it, 20% more damage or something? I forget what the
base is 25%.
25. No. That is Tatars or the normal hill bonus?
I think they stack another like 25% on top of that, don't they? I don't know the numbers.
I forget the number on that. Sorry to put you under the gun there, but yeah, I would assume scouts. I really like how Hera is milling the shorefish. We intentionally tweaked the shorefish spawns on Kilimanjaro to always be on the same little body of water, so that's an option. But you could also just make fish traps in the back if you full wall your base, like Samaro did. So,
well, I mean, you said that Hera might be at risk of, thinking this is all open and he could just go for scout pressure. I don't think he's going to do that with Chinese.
No.
Chinese play more towards walling up, getting your upgrades, and Hera is trying to go up to feudal age. He clicks up to feudal 20 population. He's going to be up before our Tatars player here.
Wow.
And only 29 seconds of idle TC time. So really nice start from Hera.
Wow. 20 pop with Chinese. He really is making use of that food. That's crazy.
And he still has the shorefish at the back he can take. He's still got a few goats left over. He's taking wood from the straggler trees. 15 villagers on wood now. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that's going to make it awkward is affording the stable in the lumber camp, but at least he recognizes here that he's not going to be able to go to lumber camps with this build. He actually doesn't have near as much wood that's around his TC, I just noticed.
Well, he's been chopping it all.
Yeah,
that's why.
But like the two, I guess you could call them main wood lines for Kingston with the back gold seems pretty nice. Hera's going to have a lot more to do with his gold and wood.
Kingston's going for men-at-arms pressure, but Kingston is going to be like 40, 50 seconds behind to feudal age with men-at-arms build. It's kind of nuts, actually. Hera with a super fast uptime sends more villagers over to the shorefish there. Kingston has seen a 3-tile stone. Are there 3-tile neutral stones around? He still hasn't confirmed exactly where Hera is.
I think you've got 3 and 4, so that's true.
But you can kind of see where the desert is jutting out into the middle here, which only happens with the bases, I guess.
Yeah, again, unfortunate for a player today. Like earlier today with the dock, and then you've got that one berry bush a tile away from being scouted there from Kingston. Yeah. And now Hera sees. Oh, God. Hera knows exactly what the strategy is.
And he's delaying these, too.
Yep.
He's like keeping them from coming across the map, so he just gets his wood upgrade. I want to see what it is for him. It's archery. He could be more comfortable here.
Yeah.
Honestly. He's already going to have his archer range up and an archer coming out likely by the time these militia make it to his base. And yeah, Hera, just with that super fast uptime, it enables this type of defense.
I mean,
should be in a really good position.
Remember we had a chat about builds, right? And that doesn't only apply to Arena. It's just more of what we talk about. This is a disgusting build order from Hera.
And it's making the build, it's making the build from Kingston look slow.
Yeah, it is.
It's not.
But it's just really tough to do with Chinese. You just never see that. Yeah. And so, I like it so far. But the fact of the matter is, Kingston didn't research Man-at-Arm. He also used his scout there nicely to scout that Hera was going for a range. And so he will still be able to have this hill control, still be able to push out and pressure Hera.
Do you finish that research?
If I have 2 skirms following up, or if I'm not making archers, I do. But I guess at this point, he needs some value.
Yeah, it'll buy him a bit more time at the front here, I guess. Also, a bigger risk against the villagers. It's a nice little hit with the scout. Just kind of try and whittle down that archer, but Hera's going to be very active with the spearman and scout, too, behind this. And Hera now getting fletching.
And listen, I know that Hera's got good micro, but I think there's an argument to be made that KingstoNe might have the better like Man-at-Arm 1 range build micro than KingstoNe.
Well, he does it all the time.
He's
right?
he's so good at it, and he's so smothering with it. It's just, can he smother Hera of all people? I've really liked his micro here, getting some good hits on the Scout, and then he's got his follow-up archers here as well.
Yep. Yeah, like micro with 4 or 5 units is almost a completely different ball game than microing with like 20 units, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or having like group of monks, mangonel, and then crossbow. Very different skill set than just having an archer, a skirmisher, a scout, and a spearman.
Yeah, and you know, for someone like Hera, he typically goes eco and unit mass, right? So he's not necessarily known for the tiny little micro movements that KingstoNe, at least I've seen KingstoNe execute on. And KingstoNe will lose his scout as well, but he will snipe the archer there from Hera. And the Man-at-Arms definitely paying off here, I think, Dave. They could still weaken some of these skirmishers. Nice job from Hera, though, to push the archers away.
Hera also getting value against those follow-up archers. Skirmisher is right in there, and all the army from KingstoNe's going to die. Along with the follow-up archer will be found by Hera. He's going to try and save this skirmisher, and he's going to engage against the Men-at-Arms at his base with the skirmishers, and he now looks fairly safe. The only issue for Hera, woodline.
Yeah,
Where do you
true.
go?
You have to go forward, man. You have to go forward.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely one we'll want to take a look at, because normally you have 2 chunks before you have to go forward. And KingstoNe had his 2, and Hera's got more so 1 here. But here's another thing I want to talk about, Dave. Why aren't people picking Celts on this map? I know it's early, but in that instance right there, those skirms from Hera would have died, because the Man-at-Arms would have that speed.
You've just been Huang too many times. You're letting it live in your head.
True.
You see a hill with a completely open map.
Yeah.
And all the resources at the front. You've just been Huang one too many times.
I think part of it is because it's just play all 3. If it was a best of 5 or best of 7, they would definitely consider it.
Yeah. But I want to see how many trees Hera is actually lumber camping here. 8. But only 6 efficiently, really.
Still probably worth it, right? Investing 100 for...
Plus 700 food, yeah. Or wood, sorry.
I was going to say, Chinese have another bonus? That's pretty crazy.
Yep.
And talk about eco, though. Oh, my goodness. Hera's food count is nuts. Now, Hera on Arabia would just stay at home, and he would try and go up to Castle Age and then push with Knights or whatever. But let's see how he plays this. He hasn't moved out much. He's got a spearman forward.
37 seconds vital TC time. 29 of that was earlier.
Yep.
Right, because of Chinese. And he clicks up the Castle Age. KingstoNe's had 1 minute and 5 seconds of vital TC time. This build from Hera is disgusting.
This is insane, and I think he correctly has assessed now that he needs, because he saw 2 ranges with the spearman. He knows he needs a tower. Man, is this good. Like, so many players just get surprised by the army count that's coming, and then they die. But he used the spearman of all things to scout that. So good.
This is with, like, early fletching, not really idling his TC, and getting up 50 seconds faster than KingstoNe going for a Men-at-Arms build.
Yep, absolutely.
16:20 is when he clicked up the Castle Age, I believe.
So for Hera, he won't want to take losses here, which the tower will assist with, and then should feel comfortable enough, because his opponent has so many skirms.
Still, woodlines are an issue, though.
Yeah, that's true. I think, you know, my big question over Hera is, does he go 2 stables? Does he go 1 stable and try and drop a TC? Yeah, see him now taking stone. I think he's just going to try and TC a woodline, which is not easy on this map. You'd almost have to go to the very middle. Or the corners, I guess.
KingstoNe should just stay around here with his army. Look for opportunities, but definitely stay around this area. He sees Hera's chopping that woodline. Like, if he puts 2 and 2 together, you think, like, maybe I can punish this guy. The stable, though, and the Castle Age timing is going to be really, really bad.
Yeah.
From KingstoNe's point of view.
Just not a good feeling. He's already lost 2 games. Last one was really bad. Made some big mistakes, and it's clear to him that he shouldn't have picked Vietnamese when he did.
Ooh.
And there's the TC
Hera
for
will
Hera.
know this army is coming. He can see that with his buildings, I believe.
Yeah, he can.
He also has Town Watch as well, clicking up to that. Like that timing.
Always a
That's
helpful
wild.
upgrade. There's
It is,
two
but, like-
reasons to get that when you get housed. One, because you're housed, and two, because, well,
Yeah.
moments like this.
I'm just thinking, like, how on earth did he get the food to get up to Castle Age at that time? It's just
I think
wild.
we'd have to look, but I believe he probably pushed in his res right away, and he delayed his sheep. Also, remember, he took the shorefish. That's actually the biggest part of this, is he took 400 food and shorefish with a mill. Kingston had built his mill on berries.
And he had the berries too, yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay,
it was
so-
an intentional move from the scripting perspective to put the shorefish as an option, because I wanted to see what people would do. And so far, the majority of people have been taking it, but Kingston was the first that didn't. At least didn't take it at that time. Oh, he didn't
now
take
the
it at
issue for
all?
Kingston- yeah, he didn't take it at all.
Oh, that's really bad. Well, he's
So,
going to lose his army now.
Kingston is going to have some wood issues as well.
Yeah.
He's running out of wood here. He needs to go to the middle or to some of these other wood lines. He's queuing up archers right now. Do you just stick with crossbows here if you're him? Do you go into cav archers? Like, what's the play?
I mean, I think the play is probably cav archer. But since he has enough archers, you play into crossbow and hope for the best here. I think you've got to, since you have so few of them, I think you have to hope to be sneaky with the archers and get value on a woodline or something. And then behind that, switch into cav archers.
Bro, Hera's just saving his resources, waiting to see what Kingston's going into. He sees the archer
so
ranges.
interesting.
So much food in the bank. He's just keeping his TCs running. Now let's see. What does he tech into? Is it Elite Skirm? It should be, right?
I could always go Siege Knight too. I mean, and it's just like the patience, like you said, to just save the resources there. I feel like I'm never in a situation in a game where I can do something like that. Like, I feel like if I'm not spending my resources all the time, I'm dying somehow. And yeah, there he sees the crossbows. But Hera's just put himself in such a good spot. Good micro there
He's
from
not
Kingston.
making anything, though. He's not getting any upgrades. He's not making anything.
That's been an issue for him this series. I mean, game one, obviously, like, he's cumin, so he could be greedy. Game two, Kingston was really struggling, but he really has not made a lot of army in Castle Age in either game.
Being
Right.
very annoying on the woodline from Kingston.
Yeah.
One crossbow coming over and some skirmishes to deal with that. Hera is tracking the crossbow army with a 2 HP knight. So he's like, is my siege workshop going to be in time? I think so.
Yeah, let's just
Yeah.
delay it. Let's just slow it down. Also picks off the crossbow, of all things. And we'll ultimately lose those skirmishers now. Hera's going to want a castle in the middle, but he's going to need more than just siege against Kingston as he loses that knight now.
I kind of like Scorpions here better than Mangonels if you're Hera in defense.
I think maybe a combo, but dude, if
Like
Kingston
two Scorpions here, because Kingston's never going to afford a knight. He doesn't even have a stable. Like,
Kingston needs a forward siege work. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god.
Oh no! Oh, that's unexpected from Hera. Ballistics and Thumb Ring obviously are in for Kingston, so it's
Dude,
not
it's
the
so
hardest thing in the world
greedy.
to take that out.
Hera has no army. It's so great. He's just like, all right, I've heard good things about you, Kingston. Show me what you've got. Like, I'm just gonna boom and play SimCity, and I want you to show me what you're capable of. And here's Kingston, first villager kill of the game from either player there. He has the Tatars. He's gonna take the hill. He's 20 villagers behind. Can he punish Hera here before Hera drops the castle?
Hera's not even making a second Mangonel.
No, dude,
Like,
he's
bro.
I'm telling you,
What?
he's so greedy. Like, lesser players lose to this, but if he were to play like this every single round of TTL, I think he could have some problems. I think it's just a confidence thing because he knows he can get away with it against Kingston.
Yep.
But like 15 vills in queue, he's got one Mangonel, one Monk. If Kingston can get the ball rolling here, fast ideally, then he could maybe pressure Hera. But that's the thing. It's like Hera is defending from the crossbows. The only thing he's waiting for is a castle in the middle. And he knows that pressure's coming in here. So he's going to have his work cut out for him. We'll see what he can do. Interesting move there with the Monk. So defensive here from Hera. 80 villagers versus 48. What in the world?
15 in the queue as well.
What in the world?
And look at his resources here. Like, he could even just drop stables in the back and start massing knights or something, but like,
he could.
he's not doing it. He's not doing it.
Crazy concept. Kingston is a little scared that Hera's going to pop out with that Mangonel. But you've got the hill, so I think you can pressure.
Hera is house, so maybe you should make another TC. I don't know. Like,
dude, don't give him the idea.
Chinese.
Don't give him the idea.
Oh,
he has 4 villagers to the left
Kingston.
of his main TC. He might do it.
Yep. Here comes Kingston in with those crossbows on the right. Hera still has to track that with this initial Mangonel. And there we go. There's the armor upgrade for Hera. He's tried to go up to that stone, and Kingston now has some crossbows in the north too. Game is paused. Kingston did lose a few against the TC on the east, but Kingston is applying the pressure.
Hera's like trying to make sure he still has
Kingston,
hotkeys for military.
don't lose.
Oh, no, and that's why he does it. That's why. Okay. A pause right before that, though.
I think it was after, though. You look at where the game slowed down. I think it might have been actually after. I think we might have not. Oh, never mind.
I don't know when the pause happened,
pause
but
that,
I understand that Hera probably had a legitimate reason to pause, but that feels bad. Like, Hera's going to win this game anyways, but pausing and then unpausing into an insta double shot is always rough. It completely ruins momentum and rhythm and yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to know when that pause actually came in, because I know it's not completely synced to our spec situation. I think so, but yeah, that's
really rough. Yeah, because like 28 is when he said, "Sorry, go."
Okay.
And
so
that's sorry, go, and then Kingston says yes, and then it's right after that. I mean, again, it's not like it wasn't the second after the pause; it was 2. But that'd be a little frustrating for me if I were Kingston.
Let me see, 2028.
But yeah, it wasn't like a calculated thing from Hera. He wasn't trying to.
Oh yeah, it was before, right before.
But the pausing happens, and then he can, pop right out as like a little unpaused surprise. But yeah, Kingston doesn't win, unfortunately, the game that he would have wanted to win here, and Hera wins 3-0. Expected result. I mean, Hera's been really active. Hera, top 5 player, no doubt, and performed super well within the group stage. Like, obviously, he performed well in general in the first season, and he tends to perform well. But the group stage, he won 13 games and lost 2. So I think a promoted player was always going to have a tough task against him in season 2. Honestly, I think that Kingston has a lot to prep for. I think his draft was weak today. And even something as simple as not taking the 2 shorefish, which every other player has been doing, is a sign to me that he maybe needs to take a look at a few of the maps as well. But ultimately, can you really, fret the guy or be disappointed in a guy for not preparing against Hera? I think he probably just wanted to hop in here, do his best, and then in some of the other sets where he's more favored, he's going to give it his all. So.
Yeah, I don't know. Not super impressive. Not the best we've seen out of Kingston, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he was on fire last year, right? And that's where guess, well, yeah, it is technically last year because we're in 2023 now. But like 6 months ago, all the KingstoNe jokes started to come out. And,
I wonder where those came from.
Yeah, I don't know. Some weirdo.
Some weirdo. If there are 10,000 KingstoNers, I am one of them.
But then he made it to Red Bull, right? And I thought he performed really well at Red Bull too. But consistency is the key with Titans League. I'm sure he'll be able to get his form back and whatnot. Hera, obviously, super consistent. Well played from him.